Hey everybody, it's Kenny K here with another movie. Uh, a slasher, teen slasher movie called Cry Wolf from 2005. It gets a 5.8 and it gets a 5. And I'll tell you why it gets a lower score in a second. Before we start, please like and subscribe. It's free. It's a badge of honor for me. It's directed by a guy named Jeff Watlow, and he gets prolific movies like in series, like Kick-Ass 2. I did like Kick-Ass 1, but Kick-Ass 2 was not my cup of tea. It was with Jim Carrey, right? And then you had he was also, I'm not sure, was he a director, was he a producer with the Bates Motel, and I really loved the Bates Motel with Norman Bates, how everything happened and led him to be that psycho. The movie also has Jared Padalecki in it. He's the guy from Friday the 13th remake who's looking for his sister, and he's also in House of Wax, the remake. Now he's not the lead. No, 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 no. The lead is this U- British kid called Owen. Don't know the actor's name. I never heard of him. And he's new at the school, and he immediately meets Dodger. So you've got a bunch of kids. You got Owen, Regina, Mercedes, and no, that's not the car, but a person, a woman, a girl. Lewis, her boyfriend, Randall, Tom, Jared Padalecki, and then Dodger. And I always think of her as Badger Girl, Badger. So, um, Badger Girl, she meets up with him and they're flirting a little bit, and that's before all this, when the movie starts, you can see a girl, a blonde haired girl, running away from a killer, and she gets shot. Okay? And the cops find her hand sticking out of the dirt, and that's it. So, what's happening is Badger Girl invites Owen to this group session at night, and they're holding this sort of survival game, right? And it's pretty lame. And he's also calling it lame. He's actually an asshole, Owen, sort of. And eventually, what him and Dodger want to create this. They know about this kill that happened in town. The blonde girl, and they want to involve the entire school with it. So they want to create a killer with an orange baklava mask, a a military camo suit, and a very nasty looking knife. And they want to have the killer see this and think of it that the killer is coming to campus because he doesn't want his name to be laughed at, so he's coming to campus, first killing the townie girl as a first mark, and then going to campus to his killing spree. Now, what happens is they wanted to involve the entire campus, but the stupid thing is that Owen uses his own stupid mail to basically, hey, he uses his own mail basically to say, I'm the killer, so you watch out, this and this and that. And he's creating it from his own mail, his own account, and still everybody doesn't know who the hell is this? Who the hell is this? Now, There's also John Bon Jovi in this movie. He's playing a professor, right? Professor Walker. And now he's not bad in acting. He's there, you know, he's there, okay. But there's at some point it becomes this mystery Scooby Doo movie, and everybody's out to get Owen. It looks like, and they do it a first time, and there's this moment when Tom's, you know, Jared Padalecki's room is trashed, and he finds this navel piercing, I think, and there's a little bit of blood on it, and he picks it up. What the hell are you doing? He says. No, 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 it's Regina. She loves doing that horror crap and, you know, that makeup thing, horror makeup. She uses her own blend of syrup blood. It's a little bit less sugary this time. You know, it's like this guy would be like, oh, there's a turd. Let's put some urine in it. I mean, okay. Ugh. Ugh. Jesus Christ. Pre-corona, right? And there's a point where they're kind of messing with each other, but then there's a point Owen sees Badger Girl kissing Professor Walker. He sees this, and Tom, out of revenge that he thinks that Owen smashed his side of the room, not Owen's side, but his side, put a knife in his back pocket, in his backpack. The knife falls out. Professor Walker takes the knife and goes to the principal. Now I mean, like I said, he's an asshole. He starts to, out of spite, he's threatening him that he can go to the principal because he's making out with a minor and who knows what more. And he says, I like you, Owen. I like you, but you're too smart. You're smarter than you think. And then he goes back to class. He lets it go. Now, all the way through the movie, there's this moment when they're all after Owen. They're all after Owen. He's getting attacked, and there's a moment even when the cops are there, and they want to shoot the orange, you know, masked camo with a knife going after Owen, and it's a girl, it's Mercedes saying it's fake, the knife is fake. It's a Halloween party, and they're like, the principal, of course, says, I mean, this can't stand. Almost a student got shot. I mean, we're gonna have to assess this, but you're damn lucky that Professor Walker put in a good word for you. So for some reason, it would have been perfect for Walker to get rid of him because he's a nuisance. He knows about him and Dodger, right? And then it becomes this entire Scooby-Doo. It's a Scooby-Doo movie. It's a PG-rated Scooby-Doo movie. I mean, okay, spoilers for the people who don't want to see it. Now, what I think is, before I'm going into spoilers, is that this movie should have had a real killer. An R-rated movie with gore and a real killer, like he said, a killer that takes offense of these people using his name, and he clothes himself to their image. Okay, it's not that there's a killer out there with an orange baklava mask and a military camo, but he clothes himself like that. He takes a nasty knife and he starts to kill all these conspirators one by one. That would have been cool, that would have been creepy, and you had a little bit more fun. Now it's just bullshit. It's bullshit. Yeah. Everybody is out to get everybody. Now, what happens at some point is Owen is running away from the. So everybody, and I don't know if everybody at that point was involved. Mercedes wasn't involved because she was in the bathroom. She gets attacked, and we see later on that it was another guy, and then Lewis goes up to see what's happened to her, and I think he didn't know too until he saw the guy who did it, and it was one of their friends. He says, "Here, put your hands in a bucket of blood," and and they find they meet up in this chapel at the end, and they find also this body of Randall in this confession booth, but they only see through the door, and you see his face. That's the only thing you see because the killer. Yeah, and then there's also this little conversation between the Dodger and Owen that she saw him kissing with the professor, and then she said, "No, I stopped that because he became too pushy and he wanted too much, and I didn't want that. I pushed him away." And then Owen is like, "Oh shit, now I'm the asshole, shit." And she's running away, crying. Now, like I said, this entire movie, it shifts to Owen is trying to rescue everybody. Everybody gets killed, and there's this one killer, and him and Badger Girl are left, and Badger Girl is calling with him, and he's saying, "Go to the office of Professor Walker. Look at his desk." And then you see she sees him. When she's calling with Owen, he sees her coming towards the building, and the killer is behind her, and he wants to go downstairs, but the doors are locked, and she gets stabbed. It's all too convenient, right? And at some point, now the gun was really loaded. He finds a gun in the desk of Walker. Walker comes in having this suit of the killer in his hands, and he said, "I found this outside of the door." And then he says, "You killed them all. You killed them all, and you killed that girl. That girl in the forest." "Oh, you're talking about Becky." The Dodgers say that, and then they start to fight to take that gun, and then we can play a little song, "Shot Through the Heart," because Bon Jovi gets shot through the heart in that skerfuffle, and everybody comes in, and they're like, "Oh no, 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 that wasn't supposed to happen." So okay, there you go. Everybody was fucking with him, and he's going to jail, but then his dad, all these kids are basically put in there. They're like senator kids, doctors, and parents that are rich and don't have time to spend with their children. That's basically assholes that don't have time to spend with their children. And then he says apparently the ballistics of the gun matched the ones of Walker, and you luckily enough killed a real killer accidentally, a killer they were looking for. So he gets free on parole. Then he sees Dodger coming towards him. She hugs him, and she says, "I never wanted to hurt you. I never, I mean, I never knew he shot Becky." And then he's thinking, okay, how do you know that girl? Because the only one who mentioned that name was Walker. So basically, what happens is she shot Becky because she was jealous at Walker, and she wanted to take him back through this game using Owen, his computer skills, and using the entire school to make this big ass game to take revenge on Professor Owen, filling the bullets up with real, putting a gun there, putting bullets in there. Walker didn't know that there's a gun in there, and it was the she used the gun on that Becky girl, the girl in the beginning, because she was jealous. Like I said, she's a jealous psychopath, and she wanted to take revenge on Walker and let Owen kill him. So, the most, and then she walks away with a smile. And then you see when she's talking at chapel about they broke it off. You see her walking away instead of crying. You see her smiling. So she's a bitch. No, this movie just it needed this complex. This entire thing could have gone wrong in any second. Any second, somebody could have get shot. Somebody could get nabbed. There were so many moments if that person wasn't there at the exact time, because there were a few of them that weren't, especially in the beginning and at the end too, that weren't involved in it and got involved in it at the last second. So many things could have gone wrong for all these people. They could have got hurt really badly. And I think Dodger couldn't care less if anybody of these so-called friends of her could have been hurt or killed, potentially shot down by cops. She just wanted to kill Walker out of pure jealousy. And this movie just needed, this movie needed a real killer, and that would have been more fun. Yeah, for me it would have been more fun. I like campus horror movies. Like, believe it or not, I love Final Exam. A lot of people don't like it. I like it. I like the House and Sorority Row. All these 80s campus slasher movies, college fraternity slasher, the Black Christmas from '74. And I hope this one was gonna be the same, but I already heard some reviews and red flags that, and didn't see that it was PG-13. If I saw that it was PG-13, I would have just didn't watch it. The acting wasn't bad. Even from John Bon Jovi, the acting wasn't bad, but it was just, it was a Scooby-Doo tale. It was a Scooby-Doo mystery tale, Who's the killer? The mystery of the killer. And then we get to see that it's Dodger all the time, all this time, but nobody can. All her traces are basically wiped out, so nobody, she says in the police station, and even if it's true, how in the hell are you gonna tell this? Nobody's gonna believe you. And then she walks away with this little smirk on her fucking face. I mean, yeah, so it's just So there you go. Cry Wolf, give it a watch if you like mysteries and things like that, and Scooby-Doo mysteries, and somewhat of a whodunit. Maybe it's for you. Acting isn't bad, but it's just the entire survival game gets so twisted up at some point that it becomes, it becomes idiotic. So there you have my opinion about the movie. You can give it a look see, and if you don't like it, you know, if you don't like it after 20 minutes, just shut it off. There you go. See you later. Bye bye.